Yeah, when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull, because you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do. And so it was a really strange position to be in, because I felt like I don't want to just be an actor. Like I want to have more authorship.
Who else? Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Cool stuff on my Great stuff.
Hey friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, February 17th, 2025. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds had a very weird PR moment over the weekend when they decided to walk the red carpet at Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. The special was aired on NBC prime time, had millions of people watching, and seemed to be their first public outing together since Blake had filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. Their appearance on the red carpet, appearing happy and unbothered, certainly paints a very stark contrast to what Blake Lively is claiming she's enduring privately and what she is suing Justin Baldoni for in regards to her lawsuit in New York. Now, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds might have really messed up because in the middle of a lawsuit, Ryan Reynolds decided to be a part of a joke during a sketch with Amy Poehler and Tina Fey, where he asked a question. They were doing a Q&A, and different celebrities in the audience asked questions. It was all staged, it was all set up, but Ryan participated and decided to poke a hole and to make a joke of everything that was going on with his wife and Justin Baldoni. He made a nod to, when they asked him how it was going, he said, "Why? What have you heard?" Making a nod to all of the news and media that circulated around this case, a very public case that's been tried much more in the media than it has in the court. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's sides have refused to mediation. They don't want to settle this case in any capacity. And their fight over, on the one hand, her claims of workplace discrimination and SH and retaliation, and on the other hand, his claims of defamation and extortion and emotional distress and invasion of privacy, because he alleges she tried to take over his film. And he's stating that the allegations that she's claiming against him of SH are false. And she's saying that they launched a smear campaign against me, and that's why public has turned so dramatically on me. I think the issue for Blake in this case is going to be the proving of the intention and proving that all of this backlash came from Justin. And that's going to be extremely hard to prove because, quite honestly, there are people that were responding to her behavior online that were related to Colleen Hoover and the community that actually were fans of the book It Ends With Us. And the fans that were excited about this film weren't thrilled when they started to see how it was being promoted as a light-hearted film, and that she was using her exposure she was getting at the time during the film promotion to promote her other products like alcohol, her alcohol line. She launched her new hair care line at the exact same time. And so while she was supposed to be promoting a movie about DV, she was at interviews talking about her alcohol, which a huge portion of DV is a result of alcohol or alcohol fueled fights, and her hair care line. And then she's claiming that all she was doing was promoting things the way Sony intended. But I'm pretty confident that Justin has shown that the promotion was handled by Blake and Ryan's company, that they put together with Sony, and then all of the filming of the promotional content was put out by their company. So Blake Lively is trying to tell the court that what Justin did has been so damaging to her that she has suffered severe emotional distress. Severe. That she has gone through extreme grief, trauma, has extreme anxiety, and fear. To be clear, the claims that she brings against Justin, if they were true, are very significant. And any form of retaliation of any kind against anyone that comes forward for claims of SH is illegal. It's unlawful under the law. So I don't want to discount the severity of what she's claiming. However, Justin has a right to defend himself. And one of the most common defenses used in court for claims of SH and workplace discrimination is that the employer did not do this, that the events have been misinterpreted or are being grossly exaggerated. They have an opportunity to poke holes in the credibility of the claimant, like Blake. They have the opportunity to defend themselves against this claim of retaliation by claiming they didn't do this. They have the defense has the opportunity to also show that the backlash that she's receiving and the quote unquote emotional distress that she's going through is not the result of their actions, but and can't be pinpointed on their actions alone. That's the thing, is if she's getting any kind of organic backlash here, she's going to lose. If she can't prove that all of this publicity is somehow linked to him, she's not going to fare well in court. If they can say that it's the product of her behavior and her actions in the media herself, then she's the person that's responsible for her own emotional distress. And that's one of the defenses that Justin Baldoni's team is taking. They're also stating that they did not retaliate, that this quote unquote smear campaign never happened, that they had prepared a team to help protect Justin against the false allegations that they knew were coming against him. So his position the whole time was that these allegations are false. Her position is that these weren't false. But the facts are is she's claiming that this has been so distressing to her that she's unable to live a normal life. So why is what happened this weekend so harmful? Well, if you're in the middle of a case and you're trying to claim that you have suffered severe emotional distress, you're dealing with severe anxiety, fear, trauma, and grief, the last thing you would do would make fun of the situation that you're in or participate in your husband making fun of the position that you're in and the situation that you're in, mocking it by him claiming, why, what have you heard? As everyone's laughing, is showing that he's trying to be lighthearted and silly about a very serious situation. And Blake sitting there, she would have known that he was going to say something because he had a mic on. She might not have known exactly what he was going to say, but clearly he had a mic on. She knew he was going to say something. All of these skits are pre-planned, so they knew they were participating in this. They were a part of it. So how does she then explain to a court, if you're suffering such some severe emotional distress, why are you going on a show publicly that's being broadcast to millions of people on a national wide NBC during primetime viewing and making fun of your situation? Justin Baldoni's lawyers are absolutely going to harp on this and jump on it and use it against them. And here's why I think they're going to do this. Because part of Justin's lawsuit is that Blake has the one that's actually been smearing him, that she's the one with her connections was using her power and influence to intimidate him and to take over a movie that she did not own, didn't have the rights to, and basically wanted the sequel to, and that she was using her husband and her powerful friends to get what she wanted. This moment of them going on a nationally broadcasted show, which was being watched by millions. I don't know how many millions watched, but the debut episode of this season was 5 million viewers. That actually lends credibility to Justin's claims that she's the one that's continuing to leverage her power and her influence to make it known that she's the one in charge. She's the one that has the power to use her connections to make light of a situation and to degrade the person that's involved in it. Obviously, he's not saying anything, but the joke goes without saying. Why? What have you heard? What's in the media right now? It's all about this lawsuit. And what is her fight against him? That he has a retaliatory campaign against her and he's smearing her reputation. If that's the case, then the last thing she should be doing is participating in this herself, right? She shouldn't be running to the New York Times and giving them a complaint so that they can publish it. That seems like a very big PR move. Now going on SNL and making a joke of the situation, even though this is a very, very serious allegation she's making against him, also doesn't help her case because she's trying to claim that she's fearful, that she's been caused, that she can't even engage in her normal life. Severe emotional distress isn't going to SNL walking a red carpet within a month of filing or month and a half of filing a lawsuit and being part of a joke on a nationally live show. This was live, you guys, on television, and they were there. And then they were mingling afterwards, interacting with other celebrities, proving that they still have standing within Hollywood. And she's trying to prove that she has been damaged reputationally, but yet she's on a red carpet where a bunch of other A-listers are at this event. She's sitting right in front of Steven Spielberg and Kevin Costner. Like, how much more A-list can you get? And yet, she's trying to claim that she was the one injured, and she's been so injured that she has severe anxiety and grief and fear. Is fear really going on a nationally televised event for millions of people and joking about the situation that you're in? She didn't have to say a word. Her husband did, and her husband's the one being sued by Justin Baldoni. And this is again him joking about something that is equivalent to what he did in the Deadpool movie, where he made a whole character Nice Pool based upon Baldoni. He can't help himself from taunting Baldoni. And in a situation like this, it shouldn't be about jokes. It shouldn't be about keeping up with the public. If you're truly, truly emotionally impacted, this is not where you would be. And they're going to pounce on this. And their continued lack of awareness of how they're perceived and how they will be perceived is part of the reason why she got so much backlash to begin with. She seems daft, inept, like no sense of awareness of what it is that she does and says and how her behavior lands. She doesn't seem to understand the social ramifications of the choices that she makes. She either lives in a world of extreme entitlement or delusion, where she thinks that she can do anything and there's no consequence, or that when something doesn't go her way, it's obviously somebody else's fault. Now, there could have been a situation where she was a victim in something, but this situation here, this behavior here, isn't matching the claims in her lawsuit. And it is, again, in my opinion, reinforcing what Baldoni's been saying all along, that he's being picked on and bullied by a couple that has a lot more influence and power in Hollywood than he does. How much more powerful are you than you showing up on a red carpet for SNL for a highly anticipated special that they've been promoting all year and then participating it while the audience is filming and joking about your situation and continuing to leverage your power by mocking the man that you're suing? It doesn't help things at all. And then her continued, use of her sources leaking to the media in retaliation and to let them know ahead of time subpoenas were being issued doesn't help either. She's been the one to say that Justin's the one that's running to the media, running a smear campaign. Justin's in Hawaii. He's been surfing and laying low with his family, out of the public eye, not on red carpets, not engaging in anything like this. He did a podcast that actually dropped last week, but it was filmed way before the lawsuit ever was filed. So he's not making public statements. He's not publicly going on red carpets. He's not parading himself online. What he's had to do is defend himself against what she started by going to the New York Times. And he does have a right to defend himself. Every step they take, Blake and Ryan, seems to suggest that they really don't understand that this is why the public has turned against them. They're not acting like someone that's been injured. They're not acting like someone that's been harmed. Yes, has there been damage to their reputations? Of course. But it's because they continue to do stuff like this. And that's going to be what his attorneys will be able to use in court. They'll be like, "Well, how I didn't tell you to go onto this show. You're the one suing us for this, and this is how you react. This is what you decided to do." And how do you argue that there's been such significant reputational damage to you that you're showing up on a red carpet for an A-list event? How much damage has really happened to you if you're still being invited to be associated and hobnobbing and sitting right next to Steven Spielberg? Did some of the people in the audience look uncomfortable? Yes. Are there people that were probably not wanting to interact with them? Yes. But in the real world, the real world is not social media, right? Losing followers isn't necessarily going to translate to how she works in the real world. She has another film coming out, A Simple Favor, the sequel to A Simple Favor. She and Ryan have other projects coming up. So how will she then argue that she's had losses and damages? She's claiming that he damaged her hair care line that she chose to promote while she was on the red carpet for a movie about domestic violence. Who made that decision, Justin or Blake? Blake. Who made the decision in interviews to act flippant and disregard the severity of the topic? Blake. Who made the decision to promote alcohol during this? Blake. It's Blake and Blake alone that's causing this. And then this does not help. Regardless of, I don't even know much about Justin Baldoni. I don't know if I like him or dislike him, but I do know what I'm seeing here doesn't compute. And I think this is really going to be not good for them in the world of this lawsuit. And it's making me feel more and more like the lawsuit they filed is just all the actions that they're taking to date don't represent someone that's serious about their legal claims because they're letting this play out in the media. They don't care about the court. They're criticizing Justin's team for doing interviews, yet they're doing interviews too. They're criticizing Justin's team for speaking and defending themselves publicly, but they do it too. And then now they're on a show after they've said for weeks that Justin's litigating this in the public. What did they just do? This isn't about anything other than reputational PR, and they're trying to it's damage control, and it's just about winning. They want to win. They want to win their reputation back. Well, how do you do that? Stay quiet, reflect on your actions, change your behavior, reflect and do some work, take some accountability, and maybe then the public will shift. But continuing to be public like this is only going to make things worse for them, and it's only going to help him. And they're really screwing up. And it's all over the news, and I'm not the only one that feels this. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and click the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.